everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now with that, I want to thank you everybody who's been supporting me in the last video to test the waters and pushing in the algorithm. You guys did an amazing job, so I think I'm going to be bringing this series back. Let's go. Our first story comes to us from a username deleted. Nah, that sucks. How about you have a coochie? I was actually talking to my friend about this today, so I figured I'd share this douchebaggery with you guys as well. So, I was in a friend group with 7 other guys back in college. Keep in mind that almost all of them were independent or right-leaning. Many of them came from very small towns or more conservative areas. You know how you have that friend in your group that nobody likes? We had one of those. For the sake of the story, we shall call him Jerkface. Jerkface was unhealthily obsessed with anime and computers. Like, he would literally talk to us in computer codes, basically rubbing in our faces of how smart he was, which was hilarious because my 2 best friends in the group were computer science majors. They said he messed up stuff all the time. The dude did not know how to use deodorant, wash his clothes correctly, and I'm pretty sure he never found out that soap existed. He had the grossest, patchiest beard I've ever seen. Like, it straight up didn't grow in some places, and other places where it did. It was easily over 3 inches long. He also had a really bad habit of getting super creepy with girls, which obviously they were like, heck no, and rejected him flat out, so it made him super bitter about that. Nevertheless, he persisted. In my junior year of college, there was this girl, we shall call her Daisy, who was a friend of someone else in the group who started hanging out with us. She was very pretty and was super into gaming, video and card games, anime, and coding. Basically, the perfect storm for Jerkface. He was relentlessly trying to get with her, trying to invite himself to help her with computer science homework, even though she was in a higher level classes than he was, roleplay in his text to her with some weird cringy anime stuff, and trying to show up my best friends with his extensive computer knowledge whenever they talked about anything remotely related to it with her, and trying to speak weeboo Japanese to her. Now, I'm absolutely stupid with computers, and I asked Daisy one day if she could help me in my basic programming class, mainly because my 2 other friends were away for the weekend, and I was even stupider thinking to help in front of Jerkface. Not because he was mad that I didn't ask him, but because apparently Daisy was off limits because they were made for each other. He texted me all of this, by the way. Yeah, buddy, frick you, I need help with my homework. I wasn't even interested in her anyway, so I didn't know what he was getting all amped up about. As it turned out, Daisy and I ended up hitting it off pretty quickly after that, and we started hanging out with each other a lot. After about 3 weeks, we started dating, but didn't tell anyone yet. A few weeks after that, we decided it was serious and made it Facebook official. Everyone in the group apparently saw it coming, and we're happy that we were together. Except for Jerkface. After changing the status on Facebook, Jerkface stopped coming to our daily dining common dinners, which I didn't really mind. One day though, he came back and sat as far away from me and Daisy at the table as possible, talking to everyone else but us. It was super awkward, but fine, whatever. Afterwards, one of the guys asked if we all wanted to chill at his house off campus, since it was huge and we could all fit. Naturally, we were all going, except for Daisy. She said she had too much homework and couldn't afford to procrastinate. Fast forward to the house, we were all at least 2 beers in, but none of us are actually drunk. Half of us were playing COD, and the other half just chilling out on the couch. Jerkface slides over to me on the other side of the couch out of nowhere, but I smelled him before I saw him. He looked down at my phone and saw I was texting Daisy. Me in a jokingly way, hello, may I help you? I don't understand. What? Daisy says she was straight. Yes, as far as I know she is, unless she became a thespian and forgot to tell me, that would be awkward. It's always the girls of my dreams who end up being thespians. Dude, what the frick are you talking about? If she actually straight, she would have ended up with me, because, you know, you have a coochie and all, but there's no way you'd be able to satisfy a straight woman. Now, for context, I'm a transgender man. While Daisy was surprised to find out I was transgender when I told her, she didn't give a flying shot. But that interaction, I had been on hormones for over 3 years. Everyone in my friend group, including Jerkface, had known me since freshman year right before I started hormone replacement. They had always included me in the group and treated me like any other guy from the very beginning, even when my voice was high and squeaky and I looked like I was 11. One of my best friends, who we will call BFF, even came with me to the men's room for the first time because I was nervous about going in by myself. So, Jerkface must have not realized how loud he was talking because suddenly the entire room went silent. Jerkface, what the frick, dude? What? I'm just saying she can't be straight if she's dating me. You're full of shot. but me has a coochie. Who cares?
I do. Me just stole my girl of my dreams, corrupting her with finished cancer.
God, I wish I was making this up.
Now she's confused and needs a real man to bring her back.
You don't have to be a little jealous batch about it just because you're still a virgin and me can grow a beard better than you can.
Hey, all I'm saying is that...
No, shut the frick up. You crossed the line. You've been a massive douche to both of them since the beginning, and it's getting really freaking annoying. She would have turned you down anyways because you're a giant creep and everyone knows it. That's why she didn't want to go out with you, because you suck. Don't drag me into your sad, pathetic pity party and blame everyone else for your issues. They're really good together, and I didn't think you'd stoop so low as to pull this "you're not a real man" shot. But apparently that was too much to expect from you. He always has been a real man and you freaking know it. What happened next was kind of a blur because I was still replaying what my friend said in my head, because he's never been a person who gets angry or confronts anyone. A shouting match started between Jerkface and BFF, and then at some point Jerkface grabbed someone's beer bottle and smashed it against the floor. Obviously, the party host was beyond pissed and kicked him out immediately. Thankfully, after that night, Jerkface found a new group of friends, which basically all looked like other neckbeards. I did end up having him in one of my classes a semester later, but he sat as far away from me as possible. But yeah, what an experience. At least now though, I knew how much my friends had my back, and it was nice to see them stick up for me and see me as one of them. Edit, thank you for all the kind words. Unfortunately, Daisy and I ended up breaking up about 2 years ago, but we're still very good friends. I was actually curious and searched Jerkface's Facebook profile because I had defriended him years ago. Turns out he basically went full incel and he got charged with stalking a woman. The dumb frick keeps his profile basically completely public, and he raged about the feminist cancer in his post detailing his stalking charge. Geez, that wasn't even dodging a bullet, that was dodging the whole Moab. Glad to see you guys are still friends, and honestly, if you can keep friends that you had in school after you get out of school, that means they're honestly real good friends, and I think you'll have those friends for a very long time. Our next story comes to us from username Amaranth1991. Childhood friend Neckbeard went psycho when I got engaged. Hi, let me start off by saying I'm not a native English speaker, so I might make grammatical errors, and I apologize in advance. I made this throwaway Reddit to hide my identity. This is a really long story. I made it as short as I could, so I might have missed some details. This story started way back in 2009. I was 12 and I was in the 6th grade. I started playing this game on Friendster, a popular social networking site at the time. I won't say the name of the game as it was a relatively unknown game, and the community was so small that everyone knew everyone even up to this day. This game had a forum which I frequently participated on. This is where I met Mike. Mike is pretty popular on the forums. He was almost always online and replies to every post. It was hard not to miss him. He was extremely nihilistic, and being an emo 12-year-old, I related to that. At the time, not anymore, thank heavens. By the time I was in high school, Friendster was abandoned and almost everyone I knew shifted to Facebook. It was pretty normal to accept and add everybody because it was cool to have many friends on Facebook. Unknown to me, one of those people I either added or accepted was Mike. He didn't really interact with any of my posts until I posted a picture of myself for the first time. I was 14 here. It was a selfie of me and my first electric guitar. He was one of the few people who liked and commented on it, and he initiated a conversation on Message instantly after, and that's how we became friends. He became one of my best friends despite only knowing him online and not even knowing what he looked like. We would usually exchange songs to listen to and animes to watch. It was all fine until I had my first boyfriend. He started acting strange. I was 16 and both he and my boyfriend were 18. He started flirting with me. I didn't know what he was trying to do at the time because I was basically a clueless virgin, but I still find it weird because he would often get upset when I don't reply to him instantly. He would constantly flood me with messages. Nothing weird really. Usually he would just spam and hit random keys and send them until I reply. My boyfriend at the time noticed this when we were hanging out at his house. It annoyed him so much that he asked me why Mike was always like that, and I told him I have no idea. My boyfriend had enough one day, and I told him to read our conversation if he wanted to. This infuriated him more because it was really obvious that Mike was flirting with me, and I'm completely oblivious. He was sending me messages like, "I'm going to bite you, pinch your thighs," and I had no idea how they were at the time. This prompted my boyfriend to tell me to stop talking to Mike, and so I did. When my boyfriend and I broke up, I slowly started to reply to Mike's messages again. This became a cycle because both my exes told me to stop talking to Mike. Mike. It didn't make any sense to me until my second boyfriend told me that Mike was attracted to me and some of the stuff he was saying to me were inappropriate. Sometime on my second relationship, I deleted my Facebook and made a new one. Mike added me on this one, but I declined his request. Fast forward to when I was 19. I was single and I was traveling a lot. I post regularly on my Instagram, and one day a mutual on Instagram DM'd me. It was Mike. I lost most of my friends the previous year, so I was trying to be friendly to everyone, and we started talking daily again. One day he asked me to meet up. I didn't know what Mike looked like even when I knew him for almost 7 years, so I agreed since my university is just 30 minutes away for the area we were meeting up on. I told him to pick me up on the bus stop because I'm unfamiliar with this place, and also the place is known to be extremely crowded. I told him what I wore, black jeans and my university hoodie, and he knew how I looked like, so it'll be easy for him to spot me. He also told me what he was wearing, a band shirt and denim jeans. The moment I got off the bus, this huge guy hugged me from behind. I was frozen for a few seconds until I realized it was him. He was your stereotypical neckbeard. He was a huge guy, about 5'11". I was 5 foot tall, and on the chunky side, wasn't wearing a fedora, but he does have a puby neckbeard. I'm not a fan of any type of beard, so I'm not really fond of it. I had the colds, so I couldn't smell him. Whether he smelled or not is still unknown for me. We sat down on the park and talked about random things. I'm extremely introverted, so I didn't make eye contact and didn't talk that much. But every time I spoke, I could feel him staring at my face, specifically on my mouth. I felt very consciously, and I stopped talking because of this. He started asking me questions like how it felt when I was messing around for the first time, was my ex's dong big, if I even gave head, etc. I was visibly upset by these questions, but he was so eager to know, and when I told him I wouldn't answer any of his questions, he would yell it loudly so everyone in the park was looking at us. This made me uncomfortable, so I just answered them despite almost crying in public. It was like a joke to him, and he would laugh every time I chose signs of being uncomfortable. To stop him from asking any more questions, I asked him to go to a nearby mall. We went into this music store, and it was worse. The dude was asking and touching every instrument in the room with his greasy hands, and the shop clerk was following him around like he was ready to kick us out any minute. I've never felt secondhand embarrassment this bad in public. I wanted to go home so bad, but Mike won't let me go because it's just 2 p.m. I told him I had a midterm exam the next day, so he told me he'll let me go on one condition. He wanted us to go to this photo booth and take pictures. I was desperate to go home, so I complied. Luckily, I managed to get out of there without getting molested. After that meeting, I talked to him less. I wanted to cut him off completely, but he was telling me he was so depressed when I was in a relationship with my exes, and when I cut off my social media, this was effective because I know how it feels to lose friends, and I didn't want anyone to feel that same way. I just talked to him less and less every day until I met my current boyfriend. When Mike found out that I had a new boyfriend, he started spamming me again on Facebook. This didn't bother me as much because I have him muted, but he would interact with every single Facebook post I made and would post YouTube videos on my wall. This prompted me to disable that feature. This got worse when I became engaged with my boyfriend. He would call me on Messenger and I'd decline it, hoping it would make him stop. Of course, it didn't. One time, he called me while I was in class. I was extremely bored, so I made it an excuse to go out and answer the call. He was crying. He was thanking me for answering the call, and I immediately felt bad about ignoring him. I told him I'm engaged and I don't like that he still says inappropriate things in chat, and he promised he won't do it again. After this conversation, he changed. He wasn't spamming me anymore when I can't reply ASAP. Our conversations became more friendly and wasn't uncomfortable anymore. It was fine until he wanted to meet up again. I told him I can't because my boyfriend won't be comfortable with that. I told him about Mike and that I don't have the time. I'm a med student. I believe he changed, but the last time we met was so awful that I'd rather not meet him again. He was very insistent about meeting up with him, which made me just want to never talk to him again. I stopped replying again. He wasn't spamming me, but one day he confessed his romantic feelings for me on Messenger. This was finally the straw that broke the camel's back. I blocked him everywhere. Unfortunately, does it end there? I have a Tumblr, it's my safe haven, and it's impossible to find me there, or so I thought. I had a regular Anon that was really friendly. When I blocked Mike on social media, this Anon suddenly changed. He revealed his identity, he was Mike, and told me he'd off himself if I don't meet up with him. He told me he's staying on around the hometown and to meet up with me on my hometown's community park. I was so scared at this time, I told my fiance and we contacted the authorities. I deleted my Tumblr and I never heard from him since. You know what, you did the right call on that with the whole contacting the authorities and blocking them thing, because really, if somebody says they're gonna off themselves if you don't do this, that's kind of abuse, and that is not needed. And that's gonna have to be it with the video. If you want to be absolutely amazing and see more of these videos, slam the like button, comment down below what you liked about the video, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on those notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.